outside, we outside. That temperature's getting hot, we take it outside. You run your mouth up in the store, we take it outside. I got my killers with me, you won't make it outside. Outside, cause we outside. Before the COVID hit the mess, and we was outside. The black loaded at the mag and it's outside. There's one west for that bag and we outside. We outside. I got the world in the palm of my hand. One west sleeve stretched through it live on the gram. Had the whole world viewing. Click and subscribe. Had them niggas off the block, tell them shooters they want a job. I just put them on the payroll. When I get control, I just roll them like they play though. Soldiers giving hell, trying to get up at them pesos. 40 cows get you out of space, Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos, me, you all boxed up. All cause my delivery. I be on that clown shit. Take you time to get with me. Got me like Vladimir. Treat you like the Ukraine. Raise your little city, now you voting like Usain. Scope costs more than the rifle. I got new aim. Fresh kick, spit with the blick. Not my shoe game. Used to have a dirty 30 tied to a shoestring. Now I got that Ruger 5.7. That's my cool thing. That temperature's getting hot, we take it outside. You run your mouth up in the store, we take it outside. I got my killers with me, you won't make it outside. Outside, cause we outside. Before the COVID hit the mess, and we was outside. The black loaded at the mag and it's outside. There's one west for that bag and we outside. We outside. That temperature's getting hot, we take it outside. You run your mouth up in the store, we take it outside. I got my killers with me, you won't make it outside. Outside, cause we outside. Before the COVID hit the mess, and we was outside. The black loaded at the mag and it's outside. There's one west for that bag and we outside. We outside. I don't talk hardly. Be there when you call me. Send the Philly clippers at your head like a barbie. Chopper get the ruin that go black like a Harley. No, this ain't a big hog. It's the big dog in your city, swimming through the jungle like it's pitfall. In the bubble waiting, marching to my cadence. Big buzz of thunder in my hands like I'm reading. Shitty little combat sounds, but I ain't playing. Look 'em in the eye before the war like a weigh-in. I'm up in the AM, politicking movements. Put that Draco from the bed because it's proven. Waiting on my brother out of bed, ain't do shit. That's how life goes. Win some, you lose. Seen a little nigga beat a big nigga out his shoes. Seen that nigga come back, pull up with a gun strap, rob everybody outside, told him run that. We outside. That temperature is getting out, we take it outside. You run your mouth up in the door, we take it outside. I got my killers with me, you won't make it outside. Outside, yeah, we outside. Before the COVID hit the mess, and we was outside. My black loaded at the mag and it's outside. It's on the west for that bag and we outside. Outside, yeah, we outside. That temperature ain't getting out, we take it outside. You run your mouth up in the door, we take it outside. I got my killers with me, you won't make it outside. We outside, and we outside. Outside, yeah, we outside. We outside, yeah, we outside. It's one of the west on the corners, and we outside. We outside with it.
Till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. One west till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. They ain't scaring me. Rip the soul out of Pharisee. Speaking heresy, get you fucked up apparently. It's like they daring me. I said chill, they ain't hearing me. They ain't listening. Every bar nitroglycerin. Hit your heart, bring it back to start, make you live again. Getting dividends, and we start getting ignorant. I be on that soldier shit. I told you shit phenomenal. Nominee abdominal. So what you suckers trying to do? Rhyming comical, guess it's funny until I'm bombing you. Bring apocalypse to the pussy niggas just popping shit. Team of all stars, I coach them up like a Popovich. Fuck the politics and the lobbyists and apologists. They vagina, so we gon' check them like gynecologists. It's kinda obvious how the situation is ominous. The way I rhyme it gives it regurgitate for the audience. They start applauding this cause the competition is fraudulent. From the era where niggas smoke you up like a parliament. The flow been stupid, shit's gotten retarded since all the dominance of one west rising to prominent. Cause I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. They want a nigga quiet, mute my maneuvers, but I ride like I got roof eyes for Uber. Rhymes hard like they been viewed by Medusa. 9 milli Luger, 17 in the Ruger. Only need a few to sit up in your medulla. Obligata for the regatta, niggas wildin', they win every dollar. They riding by black Apollos, let the semi holler. A showstopper, been the stopper since the teeny bopper. But now I'm going on my patrol, premium a vodka. I put the stitches on the clock, modify the chopper. The small heavy war lady, and that's worth the mama. When marijuana say I got the loudest silence on it. When I'm a born and ain't no rapper, do it like I do it. A lot of spinnies and writers, but when they eat so, none of them can get to the fire around with me. And I had a nigga spin like a tire, at the beat, and I'm still dope as a piper. Every bar burn hard like a spoon with a lighter. Food with night, I'm winning, coming through with the title. Cause I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me.
Warrior with the hands, that's what I'm all about. Hunger in my eyes, vengeance in my mouth, and I want no altercation. Situation gon' get critical. It's best that you be easy. The end gon' be biblical. Look, flow like a river. It's something like a miracle. Royalty in my veins, loyalty in my ways. Way back in every birth, plus revenge in my heart. The truth in every word. Bring light into the dark. And I ain't never lukewarm. Shit, I blazing in the season. Got plenty food for thought. Just gotta watch who I feed. Now they walking with them angels. So I guess I got this pistol for no reason. Niggas barely breathing, criticizing all my achievements. Won't make me weak. Nah, it won't make me slack off. These niggas barely fat, so I better bear witness or back off. I ain't ripping shit like sackcloth. Dumb dogs all bumped out. Behind me say I pump full. No room for emotion. So I pour my heart out. This road hard, but I intend to stay. And if it ain't UPK, then they in the way. My niggas righteous, they real, they down to something. Flow so deep, they drown a motherfucker. He say he in the truth for a year, bro, this the home. And I don't hate them brothers, I'm just too loyal to my own. That's what they believe, pop them.
Right, sorry, quiet, let's clap it up. Go ahead, get it started, clap it up. Alright, go ahead and call into the line real quick. Just bear with me 1 second.
You are the first participant on this meeting. Please hold while...
Just give you a few minutes here. Wait for somebody to call in real quick. We'll get a reader online and we'll go and get it worked out. It's like you logged out already? Off the conference call, you logged out?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, I'm just waiting.
I'm good.
All right, good to go. It's like you went online. We get ready to start. Get about 3 more minutes, and we go ahead and start it up. In the meantime, see, we got to read online, brother. All right, we're going to go ahead and get it started real quick. Just go ahead and clap it up. For joining us with our I.S.U.P.K. started 125th Hall in New York on the command of Yahanna. Welcome to the Monday night class. I am Priest and Officer 500, Officer Kaz. And like I said, this is the Monday night class. The title of this class is going to be The History of God's People. Understand the history of God's people. And during this whole lesson, we're going to the beginning of the book, find out who we are according to the Christ, according to the Bible. We're going to find out all the ins and outs about what's going to us. Right? People don't know who we are. We're here for the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. We are the true Jews that the Bible speaks of. You understand? And since 1969, Commander Yahanna has been holding it down, teaching us who we are according to these scriptures. You understand? We don't know who we are because our identity has been lost. It's been stolen from us. And we're here to give it back to you. You understand? We're here for the blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians. We're here to give you back your history, your culture. And today I'm going to give you a little bit of inserts of what's going on. Sometimes people don't like history or don't like the Bible. Whichever way you see it, the Bible correlates with history. History correlates with the Bible. And I'm going to show you those things in the Bible today, okay? We'll give you a rundown. We're at 3353 Glenwood Road in Decatur, Georgia. We have classes Monday through Friday from 7 to 9. All right, like today is the history class. Tomorrow will be Slacky, brother. Okay, Slacky. Tomorrow will be the brotherhood class. Wednesday will be the law class. Thursday will be the scripture breakdown. Friday will be the Lashon Kodesh to get you back your holy language. And of course, on the Sabbath day, which is Saturday, that will be the Sabbath service, and that we all come together. And that'll be a Sabbath day that we come together, eat, drink, and we learn about the Lord. You understand? And we give you back to coaches on that time. All right. So that being said, we're going to go ahead and go knock it out. I'm going to start it up. Most people don't understand that in Genesis, just in the beginning of the Bible, there's science in the Bible and there's history in the Bible. Don't get it twisted. The Big Boom Theory, that's the history that you know, that's the science that you know. The science in the Bible is way more important and explains some things. The Bible wasn't meant to be broken down. You understand? We break it down in the Commander Yahanna I.S.U.P.K. We break those things down. The Bible wasn't meant to be broken down because the Bible was written to a particular people. If I was to write a letter to myself, or if I was able to write a letter to someone out here, just a brother in the class, or actually to the school itself, telling them, hey, we're going to get ready to go out to camp, we're going to go blaze on our people. I don't have to explain to the people who the camp is, what does blazing mean, and who are our people. We don't have to explain that. We already know what is going on. So the Bible is full of history. It's a history book. It's not a religious thing. It's not some ooky spooky deal. It's just this holy Bible is just a compilation of books that was put together, you understand, to let you know who you are, your captivities, your failures, your rise, the fall, how to get back to the Most High God, who everything was given to, and that's what we got to break down. So to understand the Bible, we got to go back to the beginning of everything. We have to go back to the beginning. Just in Genesis alone, we go to Genesis 1, and I'll read it. In the beginning, the Most High created heaven and the earth. And the earth was without form. And the Word, was like the earth without form and void. And darkness was upon the face of the earth. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. Just right there, there's a contradiction. Right there, most people don't understand what that even means. And that's when you have to go back to the history to understand what that stuff means. You understand? You have to go to the men of I.S.U.P.K, and they'll give you the breakdown of all this stuff and what it even means. I mean, if the world was formed and it had no void, but it was formed and created heaven and earth, there's something missing. There's something missing. And just to give you a slight information on it, it's not on price. So just to give you a slight look into the science portion of it. The world was here. The Lord created the heavens and the earth. And then inside the earth, it was void. But it had all the elements. It had the copper, it had H2O, it had all the elements. It just was no form, but it was here. And the Most High God, did all the work. And that's a whole other topic. I just want to give you a little basic history, let you know that it wasn't the Big Bang Theory. And as you go down, breaking down Genesis 1, you understand how the Big Bang came apart. It wasn't the Big Bang, it was just the Lord putting stuff on this earth. The Lord and his angels putting things on earth. Because you got to understand, the Lord doesn't come down off his throne for nobody. We do that work. You understand? The angels and us, we do that work. So let's just give a little insight about the science of our book. So now we go into a little bit of history. But to know the history, you first have to know what? Going to history, you first have to know who you are. You understand? You got to know who you are and where you come from. And this is what we're going to break down. Give me 1 second here, brothers. You got anybody online? Okay, Most High Christ, what we got? Go ahead. Hey, Lord Christ, brother. Thank you for checking in, brother. Thank you for checking on. I'm assuming you're doing a reading for me, correct? All right, Most High Christ. If I can I get you to go to 2nd Esdras 6 and 54? Bible shot. I'm gonna get there with you. Give me 1 second. Let me fix these books to where I need to get to. All right. Go ahead, brother. Read it when you got it. No, 6 and 64. I'm sorry, slacking. 6 and 5, 4. 2nd Esdras 6, 5 and 4. Oh, right, good.
2nd Esdras 6 and 54.
And
after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen.
Go ahead, read that again from the top.
2nd Esdras 6 and 54. And after thee, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures.
Right here it says after okay, but it says right here after these, Adam also, whom made us the Lord, made all these things, all the creatures. So we all know we come from Adam. Everybody says we come from Adam. You understand? The Lord destroyed the whole earth at one point. The whole earth was destroyed. And only 3 people made it, well not 3 people, but 8 people made it out of the flood. Noah, his 3 boys, and their wives. And from them people, they came from Adam. So we have to actually start to break this down because people don't understand what this is. You understand? Read it from the top. Read it from the top again, brother.
Of him come we all. And the people also whom thou hast chosen.
Now, there's 2 types of people if you break this sentence down. You got 2 types of people. You got the people that came from Adam, and then you got the people who also was chosen. So right then it tells you that there's a group of people. And we got to find out who those people were. You understand? We got to go into the scripture and find out who those people were. But just continue reading on that, brother. Go to the next section. Verse 55.
Verse 55. All have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sake.
The Lord made the world for our sakes. So we're going to find out who these people are as more I get into the lesson. You're going to find out who you come from. I mean, we descend from the greatest people that ever walked the face of the earth. We don't know that because, like I said, our identity has been taken from us. It's been hidden from us. So we don't know who we are. But that's to dominate a group of people, you have to first eradicate who they are. They can't have no remembrance of who they are, their culture, their language, any of that. If you want to be successful at this, you have to be completely split. You understand? To control the minds of certain people. All right, keep reading, verse 56.
Verse 56. As for the other people,
The who?
also come of Adam. As for the other people, which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing, but be like unto spittle.
As for the other people, which the Lord, they also came from Adam. Again, this is actually just highlighting the fact that there's a group of people that the Lord has chosen, and then there's another group of people that the Lord did not choose. There's another group of people that the Lord said they are like spittle unto me. Everybody know that that's a drop of a bucket. You understand? You carrying a bucket of water, a mop bucket of water across the yard, and a little bit of spills out. You're not concerned about that little bit of water, and that's what we're talking about. There are certain people that the Lord did choose. Then there are certain people that the Lord made, He created, because we all came from Adam. But these are the people He did not choose. He did not choose at all. So God has His favorites. So as the world wants you to know, the world wants you to think that everybody's equal and everybody's together. But these scriptures does not say so. These scriptures does not. What we just read tells you there's a difference between people. You understand? And it's always been that way. The only people who doesn't know there's not a difference in this world is the blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians. We're the only ones who think we're all equal and there's no difference. You understand? But right now, the world has been showing you that there is a difference. There's two sets of laws. There's a set of laws for the oppressor, and then there's a set of laws for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. And the prime example is that lady, what's her name? Miss Gardner, the lady over in Russia. I mean, you get 9 years for 0.7 ounces of, I think the ounces, something like that, of weed or whatever she had, HCC or something like that, and you got 9 years. That's ridiculous. I bet you she knows that there's a difference. I bet you she understands there's a different set of people. But then I got a report, there was another lady who got, I think she's a Caucasian lady, I believe. Yeah, she was a Caucasian lady. And she had double that of marijuana. And they let her go. They let her go. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, I just recently got a brother, you know what I'm saying, who got caught with 2 ounces of weed. He got a life sentence.
Right here in America?
Mm-hmm.
So America is no different than Russia. There's no difference. And everybody want to free this lady and get upset about things that's going on over in Russia. But right here in America, our people are getting destroyed right here as we speak. Like the brother just brought out. 2 ounces of weed, he gets a life sentence. 2 life sentences for that? A life sentence for that, man. A life sentence. Again, in Russia, the Caucasian lady or oppressor gets caught for more than that sister over there, the basketball player. But yeah, she's getting 2 months and she was released. She was released. So I mean, explain that to me. Everybody knows that we're not the same people. But that's the fight that we try to give to blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians. So we're falling into that. And we run it. We always say that we're all the same, we all equal. We bleed all red, we blood. But according to the scriptures, it said there's a difference. There's the people that He chose and the people that He doesn't even care about. And that's what we're going to get into. But to understand that, like I said, you've got to go from the beginning and find out who you are. Let's go to Amos 3 and 2, if you could, Baba Shaw. Amos 3 and 2. And keep bringing these things out. Read what we got. You there, brother? Amos 3 and 2. Uh-huh.
Amos 3 and 2. You only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquity.
To understand this, you got to jump up one more verse. You understand? Go up to verse 1 to see who he's talking to. And in the scriptures, in anything you read, you have to know what's going on. There's pronouns, prepositions of phrases, there's beginnings, and you have to understand the whole thing. You just can't read, you have to read everything in context. You just can't read that one sentence and apply it. That's what your oppressor has been doing all along. That's what your oppressor has been doing way back in the times of slavery. They pull out a sentence, they pull out a phrase, and use that against you. That's why there's people at the door making sure that you didn't read that Bible. Slaves were not allowed to read the Bibles back in the day. They was not allowed to read the Bible. Only one person was reading that Bible, and that was your pastor. And there were certain phrases they allowed him to actually read. So if he deviated, came off the pages, and went somewhere else to give you this information, he would be shot on sight. That's why they was at the door with the shotgun. They would take him out on sight and shoot that brother. Or shoot that brother, yeah. So that's what's going on. So we're going to start Amos 1 and figure out who he's talking to. Go ahead, brother.
Amos 3:1. In this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel.
Oh, children of Israel. These are the children of Israel we are speaking to right now. There's no one else. There's no oppressors. There's no Chinese. There's none. He's talking to the children of Israel. Those are the people he was chose. And then what did he say to them? Go ahead.
Against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying,
Out of the land of Egypt. Who came out of the land of Egypt? Everybody knows the story. Moses came out and got the Israelites out of Egypt. Pharaoh just taxing them. Pharaoh was enslaving them. Everybody knows it. Moses came out. They wanted to go out and celebrate, praise their God for 3 days. Pharaoh didn't allow it. Moses came on and said, "Let my people go." Everyone knows this is the Israelites. But yet, we still continue on this notion that this Bible is for everyone. You will not find that in these scriptures. And as you're going to clearly see as we keep on going through the history of our people, that this book was only written for a certain group of people. And a certain group of people are the only one that's been oppressed throughout the time in history, time and time again. And we're going to find that out. Go to verse 2.
Amos 3:2. You only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities.
Ain't that something? Only you is the only family on the earth. Therefore, I will punish you. God didn't know anybody else. But to understand what the scripture, to understand the whole Bible, you have to understand where these people come from. They speak just like we do today. We speak in parables. The Lord said we do that. Matter of fact, I'm going to bring that out to you also. If you could, give me Matthew 13. We're going to start at 10. Matthew 13. If you could, Bible show.
13:10. And the disciples came and said unto him, Why speakest thou unto them in parables?
Go ahead.
Verse 11. He answered and said unto them, Because it is given unto you to know the mystery of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given.
The disciples were coming to the Lord and was asking him, why do you speak in parables and allegories and things like that? This is what the Lord was speaking in parables. Anybody know what a parable is? Anybody know what a parable is? Or allegory? Anybody know? Anybody online? Anybody else online want to check in? Matter of fact. I'm Messiah Christ. Go ahead, sis.
So like your parable definition is a simple story used to illustrate a moral or spiritual lesson.
A simple story to illustrate a simple or a moral lesson. That's all it is. It's using something totally different just to explain a story, but using parables, using different pictures, using different analogies. That's what that is. And so the Lord spoke to us because he didn't want anybody else to understand what was going on. No different than how we speak today. If you go into the hood, to the ghettos, you'll know the same. We talk the same exact way. You understand? But your oppressor takes things very, very literal. And when they take things literal, that's where we start to fall into confusion and misunderstandings and different interpretations. There's no different interpretation. There's only one interpretation according to the scriptures. But because your oppressor is a very visual, he's a visual person, and he's a very analytical person. So he wants to go ahead and see exactly how things go. So if I say, this guy is a snake in the grass, he's actually going to look for an actual snake in the grass. And that's not what the Bible, that's not what I was saying. So the Bible speaks just like that. So we talk in parables. That's why it's important you know who you are. It's very important to know who you are. You understand? So these disciples coming to the Lord and asking him, why do you speak in parables? Verse 11, he said, and he answered to them, because it's given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven. But to them, it is not given. It was not given to anybody else. And that's why I had to come back to the beginning where this all starts. And we're going to keep coming to the beginning because you got to know who the father of us, who we are. But the main thing I hear people say all the time that we can't follow a man. There's no one going to follow a man. We shouldn't follow no man. So that's why you get all these different church organizations, these different Christian organizations, the different Muslim groups, even that going on Israelite groups. Because they say, you don't want to follow a man. You understand? I don't want to follow a man. But here, even we follow men up to this day. Moses, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. Those are the men of the Lord that the Lord had us to follow. If we didn't follow a man, how would we get out of Egypt? Moses led us out of Egypt. Moses led us up out of Egypt through the mighty hand and power of the most high God, most powerful God. You understand? And we have to follow. The Lord is not going to come down here and do anything for us. He's going to send his angels. He's going to send, we are angels, authority on earth. We do all the work down here. The Lord speaks it out. He finds a righteous brother. He tells that righteous brother to go do this. That righteous brother obeys, and he does it. He takes a group of us with us. And in this case, Moses took millions of us out of the wilderness. You understand? And you're going to say we don't follow him, man? You got to follow somebody. You understand? We're going to get into a couple of the depictions of the men that we'll follow. All right? All right, let's go into... you know what? I'm going to go off this beaten path right here. And a lot of people won't, it's probably not going to like this, but we're going to do this. Give me Genesis 3, start at verse 1 and 17. Because people say we don't follow a man, but yet you follow your women all the time. Brothers follow women all the time. And I'm going to bring that history back to you until I'm going to bring it into how we do it today. You understand? Like I said, I wasn't trying to go here, but it threw it on me. Give me Genesis 3, start at verse 1.
Genesis 3 and 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field.
Again,
the Lord God had made.
Again, the Lord is using parables to explain some things. And this is where your oppressor gets tripped up at. Because he's still walking around to this day thinking there's a serpent out there. You understand? And it's not a serpent. It was a man. But keep reading. Yeah, we got our orders, from the Most High God. Lord told Adam, these are the trees of the garden you can eat. These are the fruit of the trees you can eat. These are also the fruit of the trees you cannot eat. You understand? And trust me, trees and fruits means things totally different in the scriptures. You ever heard of saying food for thought? There we go. Same similarities. There are key words that we use. That is just parables. Just to get a point across, or to get the story across. But keep going. Verse 2.
Verse 2. And the woman said unto the serpent, you may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden.
So she's asking this man, well, and the woman said unto the serpent, well, can I eat of this fruit? This fruit? Instead of her going to ask her husband, she asks the serpent, what fruit can she eat off of? Keep going.
Verse 3. But of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God has said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall you touch it, lest ye die.
Let's see what the response that he said to this woman. Go ahead. Verse 4.
Verse 4. And the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die.
Now we already got the order saying you eat off this tree, and you eat off this, you take from this tree, you're gonna surely die. We got our order saying what tree that we can, go bear the fruit from, we can eat from. We got our orders saying that you don't eat from these trees, you eat from those trees, you're gonna die. But he's telling her, nah, you're not gonna die. Now you won't surely die. Keep going.
Verse 5. For God doth know that in your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil.
Now you should be as gods. So this is where we get this whole, the women get, the men get, women are gods from to this day. It goes way back to Genesis, man. Calling women's God, calling a woman God. That's where the conscious community get this thing from. But it's not a good thing. To me, it's not a good thing to call a woman God, because that woman's going to lead you down the wrong path. As she did Adam, down the wrong path. As you keep reading the story, you're going to understand that Adam was given the instructions. But a woman led him to do it, and he ate of the fruit. Now, we do this all day long. I'm going to show you how relevant that is to today. We do this all day long. Men, we get our orders. I run across brothers all the time saying, you know what, brother, we the black man on the earth. We the original black man. So I get this, I understand. Then I ask, well, I say, brother, do you celebrate Christmases and, birthdays? No, I don't celebrate that. But my wife, I let her do it because the kids. Come on, man. You just did the same thing that this brother just did. The same thing. But they want to come at you saying, well, Adam, he did, Adam did this and Adam did that. If it wasn't for Adam, we wouldn't be in this way. Okay. Well, you're still doing the same thing today. That spirit of Adam is living in a lot of men today, man. Because we're doing things, celebrating birthdays, and it's wrong. Just like Adam. Adam understood it was wrong. The Bible said Adam wasn't tricked. He understood those laws, statutes, commandments. He understood the order. But he gave in to his woman. So if you talk about shouldn't follow a man, that's first, stop following a woman. Brother, stop following a woman. If you know this is the truth, then follow the truth. I got brothers that don't want to come into the truth because of their woman. They know it's the right thing. They understand it's correct. They see it. And they agree with it a whole 100%. Yeah, but because of my wife, I can't come in. Well, Lord, you're going to perish. And you're going to send your whole family with you. Because you want to listen to your woman. But yet you don't want to listen to a man of God. But you listen to a woman who perceives that she's a God and don't know anything. And you know the truth. You studied it. And you still choose after her. That to me is crazy. It's crazy. So we're going to go into a couple more examples about, men. Some of the men that the Lord given us, all right? Let's go, give me Genesis 6. We're going to start at verse 5. Genesis 6, verse 5.
Genesis 6 and 5. And God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually.
Keep going.
Verse 6. And it repented the Lord that he hath made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart.
Drop down to this one. I really want to go, but drop down to verse 8. Drop down to verse 8.
Genesis 6 and 8. But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord.
Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. So Noah was the man that the Lord gave instructions to build the ark. To build the ark, to take the animals and everything else that he was actually told to do, to go ahead and take them and his family, because the Lord found Noah to be the righteous one on earth at that particular time. Noah followed the law, statutes, commandments, and everything that he gave him. Whatever the Lord had given him, he found righteousness in Noah. So he gave the Noah the instructions to lead his family into safety. Now, can you imagine Noah out there telling people it's going to rain? It's going to rain. And no one's believing him. Because up until this time, there was no rain on the earth. There was no rain on the earth. If you go back and read Genesis, it was a mist in the air that it watered all the flowers. Everything was growing this proper way. You understand? Until there's been corruption, sin came into the earth, then things went to chaos. But until then, it didn't rain. So Noah was telling people it's going to rain. It's going to be a big rain coming. No different than what we do today. No different than the Commander Yahanna is telling us since 1969 that this world is going to be destroyed. This kingdom is going to fall. He's been telling us since that. And we've been telling our people, and we've been prophesying to our people, things that's going to take place in this kingdom. And ever since 1969, our people, the blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, they just laughed at us. They kept laughing at it. They kept laughing at us. What you're wearing. Look at what you got on. You look like Power Rangers. You look like this. These are the things that they've been saying. But Noah was going through the same type of deal. Noah's out there building this big-ass ark. And people is asking, what the heck are you building? It's going to rain, he says. He replies, it's going to rain. People are like, what is rain? It ain't, you crazy. Until it started raining. People call us crazy until you started getting the coronavirus. Until you get the monkeypox. As we've been telling you, these plagues are going to plague your daggone oppressor. It's going to plague this daggone empire. But no one believed that until the start. We've been telling you the war is coming. The war is coming. No one believed that. Now that war is upon us, now we're going into a recession. Now the food is scarce. Similac can't be found on the daggone shelves until recently. Food is a shortage. Food don't want to hide. Your paycheck, they don't give you enough. I'm seeing this. We're in a recession. To tell you the truth, we are in a recession, but your news media will not tell you you're in a recession because they don't want to panic. But we're definitely in a recession. Thanks be to the Lord. You understand? But this was a man that the Lord chose, and his family had to follow him. There was never given in the history of the time that Israelites in the world, there was never a time that's given till we had multiple leaders and stuff like that, and different things that the Lord ordained. And they did on their own. But the Lord never ordained to have multiple different leaders out there to do anything, to give you his word. He always appointed one individual. You understand? One individual. Give me Genesis 7, start at verse 5.
Oh, God. Genesis 7:5. And Noah did according unto all that the Lord commanded him.
Can you read it?
Verse 6. And Noah was 600 years old when the flood of waters was upon the earth.
The Noah just kept on plugging along, kept on doing exactly what the Lord was telling him. And this is a prime example of what we have to do today. No matter what is going on in the world, we have to obey the Most High God and continue on the mission. No matter how crazy it looks, crazy it sounds, we got to continue on the mission. No matter what people say about us, no matter what your family say about us, you got to continue on the mission, man. And this is part of our culture, to always listen to the Most High God. Those men, the powerful men of God, was listening to the Most High God. That's why they found grace, and that's why the Lord found grace, Noah to be the perfect man at the time among all the people on the earth. Because everybody else was just wicked, doing the hell of what they wanted to do. Even our people doing what the hell they wanted to do. But one man was that person to actually do exactly what the Lord was telling him, and he found favor in him. And he did exactly what he told him to do. Go ahead, read verse 7.
And Noah went in. 7. And Noah went in, and his son, and his wife, and his son's wives with him, into the ark, because of the waters of the flood.
Ain't right.
Verse 8.
Now we're gonna stop right there, so you get the gist of it. These are the things that's been going in. This is what's been going on. Noah's upright man. Now we go into, like I said, at this point, the world has been destroyed. It was only Noah and his family going into it. His 3 sons, their wives, and Noah and his wife. That's 8 people on this ark, along with the animals and the instructions that the Lord told him to bring. No one else. It's raining and raining and it's raining upon the earth. Now the whole earth, the world has been destroyed. Now the rain subsides. Now you got 8 people which will populate the earth. You understand? 8 people. And I think that's on here. So now this is where we go into the history. All right. Let's give me I'm going to Abraham. Give me Abraham. Give me Genesis 12 verses 1. All right. 12 and 1. Go ahead, brother.
So Noah was building the ark. He was still trying to warn the people.
Exactly. I mean, just imagine. I mean, it didn't say that, but if he's building the ark, you have to know. People ask him, what is he building the ark for? Why are you building this gigantic stuff? You cutting down trees. You doing all kind of stuff. He's doing whatever he has to do to get the material that the Lord has told him to do. Because the Lord gave him big instructions, full of big list full of instructions to do. If you keep reading Genesis after that, he'll tell you how many cubic feet he want. He want all these things. So he's out there just building his ark, and people are coming to him, and he's asking questions. And you just have to assume, you know what I mean? Asking the question, what are you building an ark for? Well, the Lord said it's going to rain. The Lord? Rain? What do you mean it's going to rain? The Lord said it's going to rain. What Lord? Like, is you crazy? What rain? You think water going to fall out the sky? And this is what, you have to assume was going on at the time. He's out there trying to warn the people. You need to do what the Lord is telling you, so, we're going to get up out of here. He was trying to save everybody. I can imagine he was trying to save everybody out there, because I would. The Lord says it's going to rain. You got to get up out of here, man. Get on this ship, man. Help me build. They ain't helping you build nothing, brother. You sound crazy. And that's what I can imagine he was going through. So, no, he's not teaching that he was out there doing this. The Bible doesn't teach that, but I'm just using my imagination. You know what I mean? You had something to say, little man? What you had to say? Okay, you got it. Okay, so that's what it is. All right, go ahead and give me Genesis 12 and 1.
Oh God, Genesis chapter 12, verse 1. Now the Lord had said unto Abram, get thee out of thy country, and from thy kindred, and from thy father's house, unto a land that I will shew thee.
Now here we go, another brother, Abram. His name was Abram at the time. This Abraham, formerly known as Abram. The Lord was giving him instruction to get out of the land from his kindred, from one of his people that he know. At this time, they wasn't the Israelite, but this is the bloodline that was going through. You already had Noah coming through the flood. So from Noah came, three families: Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Now we all coming. We still have a bloodline that we go through. Okay, we all coming from the line of Shem. If you're Israelite, you black, Hispanic, Native Indian, we coming from the line of Shem. So now those people weren't considered Israelites at the time because Israelites wasn't there, but they're still the bloodline of his people. Israelites came a little further on, all right? So we still have a bloodline of people that the Lord has given to, and that was a bloodline. So when I tell people, when you have to understand your culture, the blacks, Hispanics, Native Indian, we all come from a chosen bloodline. Just like any other race. You ask any other people who they come from, they can narrow it down to exactly where they come from. You ask the Edomite, which is a Caucasian, where's he from? He's gonna tell you he's in America, but he's gonna tell you he descends from the Irish, from Sweden. He's gonna know exactly where he's come from. I'm a German. You ask the African, he'll break it down to whatever kind of hut he came from. You know what I'm saying? I mean, ain't no telling you. There's over 48 different countries in Africa, but the Africans can tell you they come from Cameroon, or all these places they have, little huts out in Africa. They'll tell you exactly where they came from. For the blacks, Hispanic, Native Indian, we have no idea who we come from. We have no idea. But according to these Bibles, it'll tell you who you come from. It'll tell you who you are. History tells you who you are. They've been hiding identity since day one. But this Bible explains everything to who you are, foods you're supposed to eat, the dietary laws, how to serve your God. It tells you everything. You just have to follow it. This is a history book. Don't look at it as a religious deal, because it's not. You wouldn't look at the Constitution as religious, would you? You wouldn't. So you shouldn't look at the Bible that way. You have to look at the Bible as a rule. It's a set of books about our falls, our downfalls, our successes, and how to come back to God's graces. That's what this is all about. All right? Keep reading, brother.
Okay. Verse 2. And I will make of thee a great nation, and I will bless thee, and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing.
Now here he's telling him he's going to make a great nation. So at this time there was no one there. So how is he going to make a great nation? He's just Abram and his family. That's it. But he's telling you, out of you, I'm going to have a great nation, and you're going to be a blessing. Verse 3.
Verse 3. And I will bless them that bless thee, and curse him that curses thee. And in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed.
Now they're saying that all families of the earth you shall be blessed. How is that out of how all families of the earth are blessed today? Can anybody tell me that? Does that mean that everyone will be saved? That means that the Lord's going to come and all nations that's on the earth, because they're going to be blessed, is going to be saved now? Is that what they're saying? No, everybody's blessed because when you hire a black, Hispanic, Native Indian, we run the show. They're blessed that way. America is blessed because we have built the whole America. We built the White House. We built the land that's on it. We built everything. We are walking. A lot of people are walking on the bones of the Native American Indians right now to this day. A lot of our ancestors were doing the same thing. We built this whole America. Not only America we built Egypt, Persia, Medes. We built every kingdom that we were in. We built it. Great Wall of China. That was black people too. The blacks and Hispanics, they didn't build this whole daggone world that you're living in, that you're seeing right now. That's how they're blessed. Even on your jobs, if you go into a factory, you're going to see the majority of blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians working. I mean, I live here in Georgia right now, Atlanta, and there's a lot of brothers here, man. And all the daggone factories and companies I go to when I deliver things, all I see in those warehouses is black people. I go into the trucks, I see the truck drivers, all you see is brothers, Hispanics, driving those trucks. So the world is blessed because of the children of Israel. But that doesn't mean that doesn't mean that they get the glory. That doesn't mean that they're going to be saved. It's just a blessing because of what we've been through and because of our disobedience. This is why they get blessed. You understand? So we're going to keep on going and keep on reading on. Keep reading. Now we're going to stop right there. Give me Genesis 17. Give me 17 and 1. Genesis 17 and 1, please. Father Michelle.
Genesis 17 and 1. And when Abram was 90 years old and 9, the Lord appeared to Abram and said unto him, I am the Almighty God. Walk before me and be thou perfect.
Be thou for perfect. How can we be perfect? Because people say all the time we can't be perfect. How can we be perfect? You know? Go ahead, brother.
Following the law, statutes, and commandments, sir.
Does that mean you won't make no type of mistakes in the world? It does mean we're gonna make some mistakes. Right. It doesn't mean that we're not gonna make any mistakes. It doesn't mean that instead of a right turn, I should have made a left turn. It doesn't mean I misjudged a payment. I didn't pay enough for the bill, or whatever the case may be. It doesn't mean you're perfect in what's going on in the world. You're gonna make some mistakes in the world, but you damn sure better be perfect in the laws of the Most High God. I mean, keeping all the laws, statutes, and commandments. Thou shalt not kill, murder. You know, those things that which is in Leviticus. Those are the things. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. Those are the things that you need to be perfect in. Perfect in the laws. Because just because you make a B in school or you make a D or F, don't mean you failed the whole class. Does it? Does it?
No.
No, exactly. That doesn't mean you better get back on your game. So when you make mistakes out there, just get back on your game. Keep it moving. Keep it pushing, right? You repent and keep on walking away if you disobey one of the laws. You repent that sucker, and repent just means to turn away. Just to change. Just to change. Whatever you was doing, brother, stop it. Cut it out. And get back on following these laws, statutes, commandments, man. Become perfect. The brothers and I.S.U.P.K. are perfect in these laws, statutes, commandments. A lot of us be coming in, we strive to be perfect. Our sisters are striving to be perfect in the laws, statutes, commandments of the Bible. That's what we teach our children, to strive to be perfect. But your Christian pastor and everybody else in the world will tell you, you can't be perfect. That's a lie. That's the biggest lie. That's one of the biggest lies that they tell you, that you cannot be perfect. But the Lord is telling you, be ye for perfect as my Father in heaven is perfect. So why would he tell you to be something that you can't do? I wouldn't tell my son to do something that I personally couldn't do. If I couldn't cut the grass, I wouldn't tell him to cut it. Now, there are some physical capabilities that you can't cut it, they can do it. But I'm saying, as far as the things that I go through in life, I've done it. So I would be able to tell my children, my daughters, my sons, to do those things because I know I've done it already. And I know it can be done. You understand? Keep reading.
Verse 2, and I will make my covenant between me and thee, and will multiply thee exceedingly.
Keep reading.
Verse 3, and Abram fell on his face, and God talked to him, saying, verse 4, as for me, behold, my covenant is with thee, and thou shalt be a father of many nations.
He's telling Abram that he's going to be a father of many nations. This is the covenant that he made with Abram at the time. He wasn't called Abraham. This is what he was called Abram at the time. He's making this vow, telling him, you know what? I think it changed to Abraham. Yeah, verse 5, it said, keep on. At this point, he's telling Abram that in him, he's going to be the father of many nations. This is the covenant that he's giving them through his people, through him. This is the covenant that he's going to keep through his generations. Keep reading, brother.
Verse 5, neither shall thy name any more be called Abram, but thy name shall be called Abraham. For a father of many nations am I made.
Now he's changed the name from Abram to Abraham, the father of many nations. This is the prophecy that he's given him. And this is the covenant that he's made with Abraham, that he will be the father of many nations. This is how the Israelites get started. Through his seed, the covenant keeps going, and it doesn't stop. the generation that he promised Abraham, the Lord doesn't go back on his promises. The Lord says, through your seed, you're going to create many, many nations. Verse 6 says, I will make thee exceedingly fruitful, and I will make nations out of thee, and kings shall come of thee. Kings shall come of thee. This is the history of the Israelites. This is in like the beginning stages of becoming a great people. The Lord already spoke and said we're going to become a great people. And through Abraham and his seed, and the covenant that he made with them, they're going to be a great people. And all the families on earth will be blessed through us. And you see that carried out to today. You see the blessing that we're giving, but man, we can't give ourselves a blessing, man. Because we don't understand being perfect. He found Noah to be perfect. He found Abraham to be perfect. These are people he found to be perfect. And in this day and time, we have a leader, Commander General Yahanna. He's the one the Lord sees fit for us to follow. Now, I'm not saying he's Moses. I'm not saying that he's Yahushua. I'm not saying none of that. But all throughout these scriptures, you find there's a man that the Lord gives the instructions to give to his people. Joshua, Moses, Abraham, Jacob, Isaac. All these people were men that we follow. That the Lord chose and deemed them qualified to run the nation. So there's nothing different to this day. So why do we got a bunch of different groups out there? Why do we have a bunch of different Israelite groups? Anybody can tell me that? Why do we have a bunch of different groups out there? Even in the church groups, why do we have all those different things? One, pride. Pride. People want to be. A lot of people want to be, masters of their own castle. They want to be their own. They want to be they want to be chiefs, not Indians. Back in 1969, there was one group called the I.S.U.P.K. under Commander General Yahanna. After everyone dropped his sword, he picked it up and kept it moving. Under 7 heads back then. I.S.U.P.K. was founded under 7 heads. And them brothers started believing in the scripture. And brothers, for whatever reason, they dropped their sword. Commander General Yahanna picked the sword up and kept it running. The water for Commander General Yahanna was doing that. Because I would not know who I was today. I would not know that I was an Israelite today without that brother. You understand? So, Israelite School, University of Practical Knowledge, we keep running and we keep moving because of this. And we teach our brothers our history and our culture to get back to them. Because we can never find it. It'll be lost. But he's giving it back to us. I would have never known who I was if it weren't for that brother. So the Lord chose him to lead his people. So we follow. We do not worship the Commander General Yahanna. We just follow. A lot of the Israelite groups out there, their leaders fell into all kind of sins and decay. They talk about all these different doctrines of raping and they're extorting money from their people, get locked up. That doesn't go on here at I.S.U.P.K. And now would be safe to say that if anything like that happened, we get dealt with. Right. Understand? You get dealt with. Period. But thanks be to the Most High God, none of that stuff happens here because we are brothers and sisters here who thrive on following Him and trying to be perfect in the Lord. That's what we strive to do. You understand? All right. We're gonna keep it going. We're gonna keep it going. All right. All right, give me Jeremiah 14:2. Jeremiah 14:2. This history is very important, man. The history that I'm giving about people is very important for us to know because a lot of people don't know the stuff that I'm bringing out. Now, I take it for granted that I know it. But there's a lot of brothers on Facebook and YouTube that's out there listening to it and not known any of these stuff. Never heard of these daggone, these precepts, the scriptures. No one ever heard of them. Every time I talk to somebody and I give them a scripture, I'm thinking they already know it. They have no idea what it is because they don't have no idea who they are. They don't understand the history of the Israelites. They don't understand that they are the Jews that's in the Bible. Whether they be Hispanic, Native Indian, or black, so-called black. They have no idea who they are. But hopefully by the end of this lesson, you understand a little bit more of what Israelites are. You understand the history of how we got to the situation we got to today. All right? All right, go ahead and give me that. Jeremiah 14:2.
Jeremiah 14:2. Through the morning, and the gates thereof blameless. They are black unto the ground.
They are what?
They are black unto the ground.
Judah mourning. They are black into the ground. You know what mourning is? Our brothers and sisters are mourning, man. Every time we turn around, we got a mother or a father who's crying over their son being shot. We out there picketing. We out there marching. We at child support centers. We in all these places, man. We're the ones in mourning. We're going through it. Ever since history, we've been mourning. I'm gonna bring those things out later on in history, how we've been enslaved over and over and over again. No other people has been enslaved more than the daggone children of Israel throughout this time. No one. And in this history to prove it. These scholars know who we are. They know exactly who we are. And their job is to keep hiding this information from us. But our job is to keep bringing it out. And that's why they call us racist. They don't want to get rid of us. They say we're a hate group. Now, last time I checked, being hatred is to do something to somebody. It's an action word. It's like love is an action word, correct? Hatred should be an action word. Only thing the I.S.U.P.K do, we bring out information that you have done to our people. And they call us racist for that. We have not put one single hand on anybody. You don't have jail full of Israelites through the I.S.U.P.K because we follow the laws. We thrive on following the laws. So we don't do anything corrupt like that. Now, I can't speak for any other groups because, like I said, we are not affiliated with any other group. You understand? If you're not in the I.S.U.P.K, you're definitely not in the truth. Because we are not affiliated with any other Israelite groups. There's only been one, just like in the scripture. Just be one. Should only be one person out there leading, who's authorized to lead us. But we're in mourning, man. The blacks, you got our Mexican brothers on the border right now. You got the Afghanistans coming in. You got every other race of people coming in across the border except for the daggone Mexicans. And they deserve to be coming across the border because this is their land. But because they know who we are, it'll never happen. It'll never happen. The Afghanistans come here before we do. Now the Russians coming over here before we do. I mean, it's ridiculous how we are last on the totem pole. Blacks, Hispanic, Native Indians are last on the totem pole. But it says we are black unto the ground. What does that mean, black unto the ground? Anybody tell me what that means? We are black unto the ground. Go ahead, bro. We are different dark-skinned people. If you dig in the ground, you're going to get different colors of darkness. There's brown, dark brown, light brown, a little darker black. You're going to get all kind of different colors in the ground. But Judah is definitely, the children of Israel are definitely black people. But they'll hide that identity from you in the Bible. They'll start telling you all kind of different colors. Even in Revelations, when they're describing the color of Christ, they'll give you his depiction of Christ. But no one wants to take that. No one wants to take the color of Christ to be really real. Matter of fact, I didn't want to go there, but we should go there. Brother, want to go there, brother? Revelation 1. Hold your finger right there in Jeremiah 14:2. And let's go on over to Revelation 1. We started here. Like I said, sometimes I think people know these things, but they really don't. So sometimes I got to go back and just break it down to let people know what it is. Keep going. Start at verse 1.
Revelation 1:1. The revelation of Jesus Christ. God gave unto him to shew unto his servants things which must so shortly come to pass.
Now listen.
And he sent and signified it by his angel unto his servant John.
This is Revelation. This is the Revelation. This is to reveal who Christ is. Because Christ knew that he would be covered up. He knew that it would be a time to go change his appearance. Just imagine you know your grandfather. You know who he is. And you know he passes away. And next thing you know, people are changing your grandfather, telling him that your grandfather is a white man. Or some other colored person, another race. Just imagine, coming back into, just imagine right now, by the time you're 60 years old, they done told you that Tiger Woods was a Caucasian. Y'all like that example? No sweat. Just say Beyonce. Beyonce. 60 years from now, you still alive, you still kicking. Next thing you know, Beyonce, they tell you, nah, Beyonce's she was a white girl. She was oppressive. Like, nah, no, she wasn't. Yes, she was. And they done show pictures of Beyonce and then change all the stuff of her. Change the hair, the string is not curly no more. It's stringy, whatever the case may be. You would flip. I'm gonna get some more for you. I'm getting even more for y'all. Discreet. Michael Jordan. Everybody love basketball. Everybody love Michael Jordan. That shoe we got, we paying thousands of dollars for. Just imagine they changed Michael Jordan and say he was Filipino. Go ahead, brother.
Oh yeah, famous meme on Facebook, Tupac.
Yeah, Tupac.
Yeah, about 100 years from now, we say about 20 years from now, you're gonna be the image of Tupac.
A white Tupac. You got white Tupac with a little bandana on his head. This is what Christ knew. The Lord knew they were going to change the image of Christ. So he had to put this in the book to make sure that his image is not forgotten. Go ahead, brother.
I mean, because you look at it, sir, I remember, like, when I first learned about the truth back in the 90s, it was like, I used to hear, like, Jacob and Eve out in the world, they would be like, for their history, how they would say about the so-called American Indians, oh yeah, they Chinese, they came from China.
Oh, wow.
They came from the shores of China and made their way over here. Like, really?
Damn, I ain't heard. That's a new one for me. I never heard that right there. That's a new one. The Chinese? Damn. I ain't never heard that one, but dang. But hey, you hear all kind of stuff out there, man. That's why I had to be put in the scripture, man. So when people tell me that this is a Caucasian or oppressor's book, it almost baffles me because that means you haven't reading this. You have not been reading this Bible. Because this Bible will tell you the demise and destruction of that daggone race of people. If it was that bad, they wouldn't tell you this. They would took that out the Bible. That means that your person don't understand this Bible because it was not written for them. That's why the Lord said I'm going to do it in parables and allegories for you to understand. Because the knowledge is not for them to know. It's for you to know. And we're going to keep reading it out. We're going to go through this very, very quickly. So give me verses, drop down to verse 13. Actually, yeah. Give me 14. Start with 14.
Okay. Revelation 1:13. And in the midst of the seven candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, behold, a garment down to the foot, and girt about the paps with a golden girdle.
This is just Christ describing what he was wearing. Look like the Israelites on the street corners right now. We've seen Cap Kapash out there. I know a lot of people don't know who he is out in the Facebook world, but the people here, we know who he is. But just imagine, you've seen the brother outside who got his garment from the head to his foot. And underneath his garment, he got some, he has trousers on, we call them pants, with fringes on the side of them. We see it all the time. The garment down to his foot. Y'all call it a dress, and it's not. It's a garment. You know what I mean? It's a garment. He got pants on the bottom, and he's rolling. He got a thick war belt across his midsection, made of gold. You understand? Gold. You know it's a black man. He flossing already with gold. I mean, you got a black man with gold belt, man. Something. Hey, I never seen no pressure like that. They're telling me he's got to be a brother. You understand? Keep going. I heard Pastor Gino break this down, man. It was disgusting. The more, you know, he hates black people. He was saying that the hair in his hair was white. He said his hair and his head is the color of his whole body. So his head was white. So his whole body, look, it was crazy. This is the breakdown that he got. And I can pick somebody out in the world right now we see every day who got hair in his hair is just white. That just means he has full of gray hair, man. Full of gray hair. His head and his hairs was like wool, white as snow. There's only one group of people out there that has woolly hair. There's black people, man. Tell you, Christ was have the makers right now of a black man. My grandfather had white hair and white beard. And the fear in his eyes, not my grandfather, but it said here in the scripture, his eyes was red like fire. Like a flame of fire. I mean, Christ enjoyed his wife sipping on his wine. Just like most black people who love sipping our drinks. And it's not the fiery eyes like it's a daggone a movie or something like that. He has superpowers. A lot of times our eyes get, the white around the eyes, it just gets red. It gets red from drinking. You rub your eyes too daggone much, sleepiness, you rub it, it gets red. So it's not like these things are far-fetched. Exactly. You agree? Keep reading, brother.
Verse 15. And his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in his breast, and his voice as the sound of many waters.
Hey, Christ was a black man. You understand? His feet was like unto fine brass, as they were burned in the furnace. You put anything in fire and it burns, it's going to be dark. Christ was a dark-colored man. You understand? He was a dark-colored man, and his voice was loud. Everywhere we go, they tell me, calm down, man. That's why when you go out there and you're talking to your oppressors, and you just could be talking about something because you're excited, they'll tell you, calm down, brother. Calm down, man. You're not even upset. That's why your oppressors, when they pull you over, and they don't understand how we talk. Black men, black women, we get excited. Hispanic men, we get excited when we talk. So our voice goes up. Our voice gets loud. And they think you're upset. They think you're angry. So now you end up getting shot because you don't sound like them. Christ's voice was deep. It was loud. Just imagine back in the day, they didn't have microphones. So he got to speak to the people. He had to speak out loud. Like a many waters. It just means his voice was loud. The makings, again, of a black man. Keep going. Oh, we're gonna stop right there. That's it. Let's go back over to let's go back over to let's go back over. Yeah, let's go back over. Yeah, go back to Jeremiah 14:2. We could about Michelle.
Okay. Jeremiah 14:2. Fear of warning, and the gates thereof languish. They are black unto the ground.
Again, another scripture.
Jerusalem is drawn up.
Another scripture telling me black unto the ground. Jerusalem's cries is blowing up. The gates language, we didn't have no protection, man. The black people right now have no protection. The Spanish people have no protection. The Native Indian has no protection. You have nobody leading us to the right way. Up here in Georgia, you got Raphael Warnock, who's allowing abortion or whatever kicking in. They have no fight, no plight for the black people, man. The black and Spanish people have no plight for us. So we have no protection. No one speaks for us. No one speaks for the brothers at the border. No one speaks for anybody. Everything that happens to us is quiet. You got Kamala Harris. She claims she's black. Everybody voted for her or happy that she became into office because she's a quote unquote a black lady. But you got a sister over here who's locked up. Garner. What's her name was again?
It's like a
Brittany Garner. Brittany Garner's locked up over there, but Kamala Harris has said nothing. But she's supposed to be a black woman. Well, how come he spoke on behalf of this lady over here to try to get that sister out? Like I said, I don't condone any type of marijuana, any type of drug, anything like that. But this is unjust. I don't want to see nobody sitting in 9 years in prison for something like that. And your president, or your vice president who claims to be black, who had hot sauce in her purse, all the things she was telling us when she was getting elected, what else she said? She had a hot sauce, she smoked weed with Snoop Dogg or something like that. All the lies she said, because I don't think Snoop Dogg was even out at the time she was in there. But she joined the AKA groups, all the black affiliated things that she was putting out there at the time of she getting elected, yet she's quiet. Now here's your chance to say something, sister. Another sister's over there getting 9 years, and you can't say nothing, you're quiet. Because we have our gates as language. We have no one to speak for us at all. And this is the history in the Bible that was telling us these things, but we didn't listen. We didn't listen to these things. Give me Job 30 and 30. Job 30, 30. You there, brother? All right, go ahead.
Job 30 and 30. My skin is black upon me.
Your skin is what? Your skin is what?
My skin is black upon me.
His skin is black upon him. You understand? Again, Job telling he's a black man. We keep going reading. We keep reading these things. We keep reading over and over in this history book that these Israelites were black. The Jews were black. This is your history that everybody's keeping from you. You ask your Caucasian, you ask any other people, they'll tell you these prophets in the Bible were white. Go ahead.
Right, and according to the Christian church, all the white scriptures, their explanation is that they were suffering.
Yeah.
They were white because they were suffering.
Man, the Christian church is full of all kind of deception, man. It's to deceive the black people. The Christian church, their pastors don't have this type of love for black people. To understand that the image of someone is very important. That's why they created Caesar Borgia. Images is very important. If you lose your image, you lose everything. So to have a picture of Caesar Borgia portrayed as a white man, that gives you power. That gives that particular race power. And everyone bows down to that. That puts them up. That's why it's very important to understand that the history of Christ and the angels and the Most High God and all these prophets were black. And images need to be brought out that they were black, because that gives us a sense of encouragement and pride and gives you back your power. They understand this. Images are very important. That's why they create these things on a billboard in commercials, because it's an image they want you to know. They want to sell you something. Right now, your oppressor in this kingdom is trying to sell you that you'll be nothing. You're less than nothing, and they are superior. It's like it. That they're superior because of that image of Caesar Borgia. And we'll probably, hopefully tonight, we'll get into how that came about. But we're going to keep on rocking right along, right? For that, we're going to keep on going to the fall of Israel. Give me Deuteronomy 28:15. And I think everybody should know this. I assume everybody should know this, but I can't assume, so we got to go to it. Give me Deuteronomy 28:15. This is going to start the downfall of Israel. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy 28:15.
It's like, go ahead. If you could go ahead and give me Deuteronomy. Start at verse 1, if you could.
Deuteronomy 28:1. And it shall come to pass that thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
And in plain English, if you do what I told you to do, I'm going to make sure you're going to be good. The Lord said, if you do all the stuff I command you, He's going to make sure everything is okay and go well with you and your families. Just like this, no different than a parent, a mother, a father. You do what I tell you to do, you get all these blessings. If you don't hearken to my voice, I'm going to send you into destruction. I'm going to put you in time out. That's exactly what happened to us. Now, I think everyone knows this, but I'm going to go into a couple of verses in Leviticus. Give me Leviticus 26. We're going to start at verse 3. Because this is, I think, is very important to get into, because a lot of people don't go this way. But I thought it was very important to go this way to show some more of the curses that the Lord put us against. Because also it says, if the curses in Deuteronomy 28:15, it says, if you don't hearken to my voice of the Lord, these are the curses I'm going to give you. So there are blessings and there are curses, depending upon if you listen to the Most High God or not, and follow His word or not. I'm going to give you the curses that's going to befall us if we do not listen to His voice. We're going to start in Leviticus 26, verse 3.
Leviticus 26:3. And he walked in my statutes and keep my commandments and do them.
The Lord said, you shall walk in my Sabbaths, and walk in my commandments, and keep my commandments and do them. These are the things that He'll do for you. Go ahead.
Verse 4. And I will give you rain in due season, and the land shall yield her increase.
You'll be fruitful. You go out there, you plant something, it's going to grow. The corn, the livestock, all those things. If you do those things, all those things that He said, He's going to bring you, He's going to yield you increase. Everything is going to go, your fruit is going to be blessed. Keep going.
Verse 5. And your threshing shall reach unto the vintage, and the vintage shall reach unto the soul time. And ye shall eat your bread to the full, and dwell in your land safely.
Go ahead, keep reading.
Verse 6. And I will give peace in the land, and ye shall lie down, and none shall make you afraid. And I will rid evil beasts out of the land, neither shall the sword go through your land.
Keep going.
Verse 7. Verse 7. And ye shall chase your enemies, and they shall fall before you by the sword.
You should chase your enemies, and they should fall before you by the sword. By the sword. You will chase your enemies. Right now, that's not happening. Go ahead.
Verse 8. And 5 of you shall chase 100, and 100 of you shall put 10,000 to flight, and your enemies shall fall before you by the sword.
Like the Lord said, it's not about the numbers if the Lord is with you. You have 5,000 people, 5, 10 of them chase them on out of there. With no problem, because the Lord is with us. And these are all the blessings that the Lord has given us. All the blessings, all the great stuff on the land, that He's explaining here, that He's going to give you. And I don't want to go through all of them, because just know that there's blessings that we'll get if we hearken to the Most Lord, and hearken to the voice of the Most High God. But now we drop down in verse 13.
Come on.
Leviticus 26 and 13. I am the Lord your God, which brought you forth out of the land of Egypt, that ye should not be the bondmen. And I have broken the bands of their yoke, so they can go upright.
This is the Lord who brought you out of Egypt. He broken the bands. You will not be a bondman. You will not be a slave. He broken the bands and yokes around your neck, and it makes you walk upright. That's if you follow the Most High God. But drop down, keep reading on 14. There's two sides of this coin.
Our God, Leviticus 26 and 14. But if you will not hearken and will not do all these commandments, and if you shall despise my statutes, or abhor my judgments, so that ye will not do all my commandments, but that ye break my covenant.
If you break the covenant that He gave you back when He was talking to Abraham, and you don't follow all His laws, statutes, commandments, because this is where the start of the fall of Israel, fall of Israel is really beginning. And He's telling you, He's giving you a full warning of what not to do. Should we heed the warning? Let's find out. Keep reading. He's going to give you some examples of what's going to happen. And it's going to be a direct correlation to what we're going through to today. Go ahead.
Verse 16. I also will do this unto you. I will even appoint over you terror, consumption, and the very agony that shall consume your eyes and cause your heart. And you shall sow your seed in vain. Your enemies shall hear.
Man, right there, you will sow seed. You will fix a whole daggone field of seeds of whatever it is, and you're not going to enjoy it. You're not going to eat it. We've done that already. That's in slavery. You've seen how we out there in the daggone cotton fields, corn fields, and we reap no benefits from that. They gave us the daggone leftovers because of we didn't listen to the Lord. Keep going.
Verse 17. And I will set my face against you, and you shall be slain before your enemies, that they hate you shall reign over you, and you shall flee when none pursueth you.
The Lord has set His face against us, and we are slain before our enemies. Every time you turn on the TV, you hear about some brother, some daggone so-called Mexican getting killed by the police. These people are slaying us every day, day in and day out. We get slain. And they hate us. The people that are over us, reigning over us, hate our guts because we didn't listen to the Most High God. And they don't care. And you shall flee. Oh, okay. Keep going. I'm going to keep going. Keep going. He said, you shall flee when none pursue you. Right now, we do the same thing. You hear a cop. We just standing out there. I don't know about y'all, but back in the day, boy, I heard that whoop whoop. I'm ready to get up out of there. They ain't do nothing. Had no idea, ain't know what's going on. Cop pull, just imagine you're on the highway, you driving, you see those lights flicker on, them blue lights go behind you, man, you tense up real quick like, dog, what I did? And he goes around you. You starting to sweat. He ain't even done anything. Because you know, if he pulls you over, you have a 50-50 chance of making it out of there. Lucky you get a ticket. But now you think about, damn, he might kill me if they pull me over. And he ain't pursuing you. But the thought of all the stuff that we went through and going through, it puts a stigma onto us because we didn't listen to the Most High God. Now nobody's pursuing us, and we scared as hell. Keep reading.
Verse 18. And if ye will not, yet for all this hearken unto me, then I will punish you 7 times more for your sin.
The Lord is punishing us 7 times more. So, because remember what I told you in the beginning. The Lord gave us laws, statutes, and commandments. Nobody else. No one else knew those laws. He gave it to us because we were the chosen ones that to get it. So therefore, the Lord punishes us 7 times more than anybody else. That is why Brittany Greer gets 9 years in prison for a little bit of ACC, a little bit of that. That's why the brother get killed for jaywalking. That's why our children gets the worst when they do things. You got R. Kelly. Although what he did was horrific and he deserves what he gets, but your oppressors been doing it all the time. I'm still waiting for them to deface Elvis, Johnny Cash, all them people who had them 15-year-old girls back in the day. What's that Playboy Mansion, man? That dude for the Playboy had all them young girls in there. They don't deface these people because we break the laws. We're punished 7 times more than anybody else. If that don't make you want to be perfect within these laws, then it should. That should wake you up right now, understanding the truth of this Bible and understanding what the Most High God said. If you listen to me, you'll be good. But if you don't, I'm going to punish you 7 times. While your oppressor walks away clean. When they do things, because this is their empire. Lord ain't talking to them. Lord don't know them. Lord knows you. In history, we already told you that, although we all came from Adam, there's a group of people he chose. And to be the chosen one, guess what? There are consequences when you disobey the Most High God. Even in life today, you take that to life today. If you're a chosen person in whatever field you're in, they give you more of a burden. They give you more responsibilities. And when you mess those responsibilities, it goes down heavy on you. Heavy is he that wears the crown. So we punish 7 times more. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 19. And I will break the pride of your power, and I will make your heaven as iron, and your earth as brass.
Keep reading.
Verse 20. And your strength shall be spent in vain, for your land shall not yield her increase, neither shall the trees of the land yield their fruits.
Keep going.
Verse 21. And if you walk contrary unto me, and will not hearken unto me, I will bring 7 times more plagues upon you according to your sins.
According to your sins, he's going to bring you 7 times more plagues. You want to be out there homosexual, you're going to get that monkeypox. You're going to get those monkeypox, man. COVID going to hit hard on you. We've been seeing that. We've been living in them ages. We've been living in what it's saying right now. And all the curses, the children of Israel is beginning these curses right now. Keep going.
Verse 22. I will also send wild beasts among you, which shall rob you of your children and destroy your cattle, and make you few in number, and your highways shall be desolate.
Shoot, what is that? That's daggone abortion right now. The animals, the beasts. Your oppressors, the beasts, want to kill our babies, man, to the tune of 400,000 a year. It's crazy. Killing our children. Only animal would do some crazy stuff like that, man. Even the animals out there don't do that. But your oppressor is an animal, the devil the Bible speaks of. And this is what he does. Keep going.
Verse 23. And if you will not be reformed by these things, but will walk contrary unto me.
All right, drop down. Let me go. I'm trying to move on a little bit more. So, give me verse 29.
Oh God. Leviticus 26:9. Eat the flesh of your sons, and the flesh of your daughters shall you eat.
What does that mean? Anybody know what that means? You shall eat the flesh of your sons, and the flesh of your daughters shall you eat. I just mentioned that, man. That's. Go ahead, brother.
Like, say for instance, for like women who want to, I can't be pregnant. I'm trying to get my degree so they go and have an abortion.
Damn right. Give it up for them. That was hard. You got that. What they've been studying. They want to live a hot girl summer. They want to keep their job. They want to keep their employment. They want to get their education. So they go ahead and get a $500-$600 abortion, and now they get that paycheck. They want to continue getting their paycheck. You're literally eating your daggone babies, man. Eating our babies, the Black, Hispanic, Native Indians, because you want to be selfish and abort the baby that you have control over. You know how to get pregnant. Contraceptives, everything's out there. You don't have to do that, but no. You have to eat your babies. And in these scriptures, we literally ate the babies also. That's how wicked we were, man. Keep going. Go ahead.
And the man has no control over that. Say a man does want to have that baby, he has no control over that because he's not going to do it anyway.
Man, forget about it, man. That whole thing is asinine, man. And I can go into many different discussions about that, but I can't get into it. Ain't got no limited time. But you're damn right, brother. My brother got no kind of control over it. He want to keep it, because it's her body, her choice, whatever. They go ahead and get rid of that baby. It's just madness. Keep reading.
Verse 30, and I will destroy your high places and cut down your images and cast your carcasses upon the carcasses of your idols, and my soul shall abhor you.
Man, the Lord said, I will destroy your high places and cut down your images. That's why we got the image of Caesar Borgia right now, that you're oppressor. And that's why your Christian pastors are telling you that, you know, the Russian icons, they weren't black, they were white. They painted over all the faces of everybody. That's why you have all these different images of white prophets and things like that. Marys and everybody was white, because the Lord just said, I'm going to cut down your high places. And remember, he said, I will destroy your high places and cut down your images and casting carcass unto the carcass of your idols. This is why he said that. And we're seeing that to this day. Keep going.
Verse 31, and I will make your cities waste, and bring your sanctuaries unto desolation, and I will not smell the Savior of your sweet odor.
Meaning that you over here and you're celebrating Christmas and Thanksgiving and cooking for the Lord, but yet you in the ghettos, you in the barrios, you on the reservations, and you celebrating all this. The Lord ain't smelling that. And this land, you in the desolated land, but yeah, you wanna serve up some beef, some shrimp, pork, and lobster to me on these daggone holidays. You're not even listening to me, but you think you're praising to me in your ghetto. You in your neighborhoods, in your barrios, in your ghettos, serve me up junk. I ain't smelling that. But you think you're doing a service to the Lord, but you're not. You're doing a disservice. Keep reading.
Oh God. Verse 32. And I will bring the land into desolation, and your enemies which dwell therein shall be astonished at it.
What is that? I will bring the land into desolation, and your enemies which dwell therein shall be astonished at it. That's gentrification, man. That is gentrification. Your lands are desert. You're in the ghetto, but yet they come into the ghetto and they move you out, and they build their stuff in it and raise the prices on it. Got gentrification right here in the Bible, man. They move into you got slum lords that move into your area, create some little money, a little pit, help you move in, charge you $1,000 high for the rent, and you don't fix nothing. And it's in desolation. You're in ruins. You're living like a daggone vagabond already. But yet they charge you high prices for the places in this land. That's what the Lord is saying. That's what the Lord is saying. Keep going.
Oh God. Verse 33. And I will scatter among the heathen, and will draw out a sword after you, and your land shall be desolate, and your cities waste.
Well, the Lord said He's going to spread us out. He's going to spread us out. Now we keep going. I mean, you got to go back and read yourself a lot of other stuff. You got child support in here. You got so much stuff in this, man, that we're going through right now. Right now. Because we refuse to listen to the Most High God. And because of that, we went to the captivity. If you go back over to Deuteronomy 28 and 65, I'm sorry, give me Deuteronomy 28 and 68 real quick.
Deuteronomy 28 and 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
The Lord said He's going to bring you into Egypt again. The same Egypt he said you brought you out of. He said he's going to bring you back into it again. Using bondage the first time in Egypt, he's going to bring you back into it again. America is known as Sodom and Gomorrah, Egypt, all these things. Because you can do all manner of evil right here in the United States, in America. So he's going to bring you back into Egypt again. And not only will he bring you back into Egypt again, you shall see it no more. You're not, he's going to take you away in the ship. And it's like, it says again with ships. And by way wherever I speak unto thee, thou shalt not see them no more again. And you should be sold to your enemies. For bondmen and bondwomen, you can be sold as slaves, man. And nobody gonna free you. We're in that same thing right now because we didn't hearken. We've been, you know how many captivities we done been in, man? We done been in a lot of captivities, man. We done over 7 captivities. We've been in Babylonian captivity, Persian captivity, Assyrian captivity. We've been in so many captivities that Jeremiah had to say, well, damn, this is all we gonna do? Give me Jeremiah 27 and 20. This is one of the captivities we was in. Jeremiah 27 and 20. We go over a few of them real quick. And again, correlate the stuff with history, man. Go in history books and find out the captivity of a people. And you're gonna see this stuff in your history books. But this is the history of us, Israelites. It's gonna highlight our downfalls. It's gonna highlight our captivities. You got it, brother? Go ahead. Jeremiah 27 and 20.
No, stop.
Very good.
Stop it, sir. Jeremiah 27 and 20. Which Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, took not when he carried away captive Jeconiah, the son of Jehoiakim, king of Judah, from Jerusalem to Babylon, and all the nobles of Judah and Jerusalem.
That's right. Here we go. That was Judah going into captivity with the Babylonians. Let's go to 1 Chronicles 5 and 26.
First Chronicles 7.
1 Chronicles 5 and 26.
First Chronicles 5 and 26. And the God of Israel stirred up the spirit of Pul, king of Assyria, and the spirit of Tiglath-Pileser, king of Assyria, and he carried them away, even the Reubenites and the Gadites, and the half tribe of Manasseh, and brought them to Halah, and have them to the river unto this day.
Man, this captivity, he already mentioned the name, even Reubenites, the Gadites. That's how North American Indians, that's our Indian tribe, and Manasseh, the Cubans, man. He brought them, they're still over there in the land right now, it goes on to this day. They was taken into the daggone captivity of Assyrian captivity. Give me Ezra 1, start at verse 1. Ezra. Old Testament.
That's all.
We'll start at verse 1.
1 and 1. Now, in the first year of Cyrus, king of Persia, that the word of the Lord by the mouth of Jeremiah might be fulfilled, the Lord stirred up the spirit of Cyrus, king of Persia, that he made a proclamation throughout all his kingdom, and put it also in writing, saying.
Now I'm gonna stop it right there. You got to go through the saying. We can't go through short of time, but you go through the whole saying. This is the beginning of the captivity of Persia. The Persian Empire still going to start being in captivity. In the captivity of Kerber, right there. 70 years with King Cyrus. 7 years in Asia. We go to the Egyptian. The Egyptian had us in bondage for 430 years. People always talking about, man, we've been enslaved for 430 years. We've already did that. That's why I said you're going to be back in Egypt again. In Egypt in the old time, we spent 430 years in slavery. And right now in America, we damn near right at the same time. These are the prophecies that the Lord was telling you. This is our history saying, you're repeating this thing. If you don't listen to me, I'm going to put you back into there. And that's why all these things are going on with us right now. All of it. We're reaping what we're sowing. Because we didn't want to obey the Most High God. We didn't want to hearken unto the voice of the Lord and do all the things to get all the blessings. We did everything to get all the curses. You understand? That we can precept that with, back in Deuteronomy 28:68. Now we go into the Greek captivity. You ever wonder why the Bible goes from Hebrew to Roman and Greek? Hebrew to Greek. Because we're in the Greek captivity as well. Give me Joel 3:6. Joel 3:6.
Joel.
Mm-hmm.
3:6. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians, that ye might remove them far from their border.
Damn, there we go again. Greece taking us far from our borders. Another captivity. Another one. Every kingdom has fell, and we built every kingdom in there. A lot of people have partaken in our daggone captivity. In Rome, same thing. And now we're in America. We've been at the captivity after captivity after captivity. Give me Jeremiah 2. Go to Jeremiah 2:14. We've been in so many captivities, man, that it's baffling Jeremiah. It's like, what is going on? Why are we here? What do you got?
Jeremiah 2:14. Is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave?
We've been in so many Why is he spoiled? We've been in so many captivities. Jeremiah is asking the question, are we a homeborn slave? Did you just make us to be slaves? Why are we spoiled? Well, the Lord told you why we were spoiled. Because they did not hearken to our voice. We are stiff-necked people, the Bible says. That we don't listen. And we wonder why all these things come up. We wonder why we're not being blessed in the area. Over 430 years we're in captivity, man. And then we didn't hearken to the Lord's voice again. Now we're back into captivity again. After captivity, after captivity, after captivity. This is what Israel been going through. Now you show me what other nations has been through this many captivities and called the children of Israel. The Caucasian man that's living in your land, they have never been in this many captivities, man. It said Judah mourneth. Now you understand why the scripture said Judah mourneth. And we are black unto the ground. Because we've been in mourning for this long. We've been in captivity for this long. Nothing but black people disobeying the Most High God, not listening to his voice. That Jeremiah was like, man, what is going on? Are we spoiled? Somebody's not good to spoil your kids. Spoil means robbed. It's not good to spoil your kids. You rob your children of a good, upbringing when you spoil your children, man. You shouldn't spoil your children at all. You understand? We're going to keep on going. That's some of the captivities that we've been into. Alright, now there's some books out there that you need to read, that you have to read. Babylon the Timbuktu. I seen one today, the 13th tribe. Bruh, that's telling you that your oppressor knows exactly who we are. They know who you are, man. They depict everything that we actually bring out. But sometimes black people don't understand things until you hear it from your oppressor. You hear it from your oppressor, you start to believe it. But we trying to tell you this out in the streets all day long, you don't want to believe us. You understand? But we're going to read one more thing of a captivity. We're going to see what the Romans did to us, man. The Romans did something brutal to us, bro. You understand? So let's, let me go to Luke 21. Luke 21. And let me get there, Luke. Luke 21, we're going to start at verse 20, I think. Let me see. Hold on, brother. Give me 1 second. Yeah, Luke 21 and 20.
Luke 21 and 20. And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh.
Get reading.
Verse 21. are in Judea flee to the mountains, and let them which are in the midst of it depart out, and let not them that are in the country enter therein.
Excuse me. Slide. Okay. It says, verse 20. It says, when you see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know the destination is near. This was the Roman armies coming in. They was coming in to sack Jerusalem, to take out people captive, man. They was coming back in here to go ahead and mess up all of our whatever we had. They was coming to destroy it and take us captive into the Roman Empire. This is what was going on. So Christ was warning them. When you see these armies, then know that the destination is near. And let them who are in Judea flee to the mountains. And let them which are in the midst of the depart out of it. And let not them that are in the countries come back in. Which means if you're in the field, you're out in the country, don't come to the city. You got to run to the mountains. You got to find out what was around us. This wasn't uncommon for all of our people to run to the mountains. Those mountains was Egypt, Africa, lands of Africa that we went to. It wasn't uncommon for the children of Israel, when they got into trouble or something was coming after them, they ran into Egypt to hide out. That's another depiction that you know that Christ couldn't have been a white man, because why would he run into Africa to hide? He would be found out. If he was a white Caucasian man and he run to Africa, they'll know exactly who he is. And that's what Mary and Joseph did. A decree went out trying to kill all the children. Where did they go? They went to Africa. They went to Egypt. They went over there. You understand? Give me Genesis 12 and 10. Genesis 12 verse 10.
Genesis 12 verse 10. And there was a famine, and there was a famine in the land, and Abram went down into Egypt to sojourn there, for the famine was grievous in the land.
There we go again. Another example of it was a famine in the land. Abram went down into Egypt to get food. So we was known to do this, man. When things got rough and popped off, we took off. We rolled out there to save our families for the famine, to hide out from Pharaoh trying to kill them. These are the things that we did. And inside that, we went into Egypt, all over the lands of Africa. And there's no different. So when we go back to Matthew 20 and 21, Baba Shah, he's telling you the same thing. We did the same thing again. He told us to flee into the mountains, man. 21 and 20 stays again. Go ahead, read it when you got it.
Matthew 21 and 20.
Salaki, go back to Luke 21 and 20. Salaki, Luke 21 and 20, I'm sorry.
Luke 21 and 20. And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh.
Keep going.
Verse 21. And let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains, and let them which are in the midst of it depart out, and let not them that are in the country enter thereinto.
Keep going.
Verse 22. For these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled.
These are the things that are going to be fulfilled, man. If you drop down verse 24, it says, and they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captives into all nations, and Jerusalem shall be trodden down over the Gentiles, and the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. This is what we're living in now. The Romans came in and sacked us, man. And those people who went, they went to the mountains, flew into Egypt, into the west coast of Africa. The rest of them got captured. And if you got captured, man, you got put off, and you went in some slavery. You was over in Rome fighting the battles. You was in, what do they call it? They fighting the Colosseums. What is that? What do you call that? Go ahead, bro.
Gladiator games?
The gladiator games. You was over there doing the gladiator games over there, man. You fighting lions and tigers and bears. Those what you were doing, but you got slaughtered. But a lot of people, we spread out. So we spread out to the four corners of the earth because of this. So the Romans came in and just shut things down and started to rule that whole Egypt. And this you can find, I'm going to read an insert to you real quick. I'm going to read this out. This is the book of Babylon, Timbuktu. And And I'm gonna start at verses. I'm gonna start at page. This is Babylon to Timbuktu, page 84. And in the year 65 BC, the Roman armies under General Pompey captured Jerusalem in 70 AD. General Vespasian and his son Titus put an end to the Jewish estate with great slaughter. This is what we're reading right here. During the period of the military governors of the Palestine, many outrage and atrocities was committed against the residue of the people. During the period from Pompey to Julius, it had been estimated that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa, fleeing from the Roman persecution and slavery. The slave market was filled with black Jewish slaves. That was going on in history right now. That's in history right there. It was filled with them. They knew who we were. They started fleeing from different spots, and so they came and grouped us up. A lot of us hear about the Atlantic slave trade. That lasted about, I gotta hear. The Atlantic slave trade lasted about 400 years. But we all don't know about the sub-Saharan slave trade. The sub-Saharan slave trade lasted over 1,700 years. 1,700 years. They went around slaving black people. Not Africans, but black people. Because they knew who you were. If you go back to old 1707 map, it's a map out there. I forgot what year it was. But it shows you all the maps of our territories. And it has Judah in it. So they knew exactly where we were and who we were. So they weren't slaving Africans. They were slaving children of Israel. And this is all your books because of the stuff that we didn't do to the Most High God. The Lord told us what we're going to befall us if we don't hearken to the voice. And we didn't. So we went to captivity. Again and again and again. And now we're still in the captivity. What do we got to do to come out of captivity? We got to follow the law, statutes, and commandments. We got to listen to the Most High God. That's the only way we're going to get out of captivity. We tried everything else. History's not been so kind to us. Martin Luther King had people put dogs up on us, water us down with daggone water hoses, wet us up, sitting at the bar, getting beat down, getting punched and slapped because we want to have some white pie. Non-violence is what he preached to us while he watching our brothers get beat down, our sisters get slapped. But we weren't supposed to fight back. This is our punishment we get for not listening to the Most High God. So we go into punishment for 400 years slavery, 1,700 years slavery. The Muslims are fighting against the Muslims and the Christians just going at it. The war of the Crusades. Anybody know the war of the Crusades? This is a religious war that they was coming around killing, slaughtering people by the dozen. You better conform to Muslim, to Islam. You better conform to Christianity. They was killing them by the sword because the Lord said, your oppressor will rule by the sword. This is our history that comes upon Israel. That's why I said this history book, this Bible is not, the Bible is not just a daggone, it's not religion, man. It's a history book of our people, the things that we've done, our atrocities. We leave nothing out. Everything is said. That's why, we go into the Dark Ages. People don't know about the Dark Ages. When you ask somebody about the Dark Ages, they have no clue what the Dark Ages is. And let your scholars tell you, well, not your scholars, but you tell your teachers, the thing you learn from, they'll tell you that Dark Ages, that's the time when nothing was going on, it was desolated, things were quiet. No, that's the time when black people ruled. Black people ruled the Dark Ages. That's when you will see the Russian icons that were black. That's when you will see everything going down. But that thing changed when the Renaissance era came out. Everything changed. Let me give you a scripture. Going back to those people that stole our identity. We're going to go back. Give me Revelations 2 and 9. Revelations 2 and 9. Let me get there with you. Give me 1 second. Revelations 2 and 9. All right, go ahead.
Revelations 2 and 9. I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich, and I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not.
Read that one more time. Read that one more time.
Now God. Revelations 2 and 9. I know thy works and tribulation
The Lord said He knows thy work and the tribulations and poverty, but thou art rich. How are you rich but you're in poverty? You're rich because you have the law, statutes, and commandments that you can be rich. The Lord gave all the promises to us. That's why we live in this world which is was desolated because we disobeyed the Most High God. But there's a way that you can be rich. You were rich with favor, rich with the Lord. That's why He said, but thou art rich. And He knows the blasphemy and the lies of them who say they are Jews. You got your Caucasian man walking around saying that he's a Sephardic Jew and all kind of Jews, man, that they stole our identity from us. But the Lord says right here, I know thy works and thy tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. That Jew has not been in poverty. Who was in poverty? We just gave you everything that we went through. We was in poverty. We still in poverty. A lot of our people are still in poverty. A lot of our people are still enslaved with our eyes still in slavery, which is still we still have the yoke of iron around our mind. We're still in slavery because of that. Your oppressor has never been in mourning. He's always been rich. But God said, I know the blasphemy of them who say they are Jews, but they are not. They are the synagogue of Satan. They are the synagogue of Satan. They're the ones running around talking about doing the synagogue. We have no synagogue we go to. We come to the school, I.S.U.P.K, and the Commandment of Yahanna. That's where we go. You understand? Go over to 3 and 9. This is 3 and 9. Go to Revelation 3 and verse 9.
Revelation 3 and 9. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not.
Lord said, behold, I will make them the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews, they are not, but do lie. Those people that's in your land over there in Egypt, that's in the land of Jerusalem, are not the real Jews that the Bible speaks of. We are them. And the Lord said, I know they're over there saying they're Jews, but they do lie. They're not. They're a synagogue of Satan, and they're lying. Keep reading.
Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee.
There's going to be a time that those people are going to worship at our feet. They're going to worship at our feet for the stuff that they put the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians through. They are lying. The Lord knows this. And not just only the Lord, a lot of these scholars know this. They're just as guilty, man. They know what's going on with God's chosen people and how they got us in captivity. But the Lord put us in time out because we didn't hearken into the voice of the Lord our God. But also, He didn't put those people to be over us to do us any kind of way. To beat our backs in. Make belts out of us. Make chairs out of our hair. Feed our babies to alligators. This is not make shoes out of the skin of black people. It's all in history, man. You can read it, you can look all this stuff up. If you don't like the Bible, but you read history, you better check your history out of the things I'm bringing out today. Because you're going to see the Bible and history comes right in correlation with each other. Right with each other. You understand? Give me Job 9 and 24. I'm going to show you who the devil is. Job 9 and 24.
No, 9 and 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covers the faces of the judges thereof. It's not where and who is he?
It's saying right here. The earth is given to the hand of the wicked. Who is ruling this world right now? The oppressor. The Lord just called him wicked. Earth is given to the hand of the wicked, man. And He covered the faces of the judges thereof. He the one that covered up in the Renaissance era, to cover up, Christ, who was a black man, and paint him to a Caucasian man. He's the one that made the prophets that who were black was white. He's the one who did all these things. And the Lord knows this. But He also said, I'm going to make them worship at your feet. So in the land of in our land that the Lord has promised us, you have someone dwelling in that land. This is the devil the Bible speak of, man. But that's not. The Lord said He'll bring us to His own land. You understand? The Lord said He will do all these things for us. So there's a time that right now, I mean, we should enjoy the fact that we can actually keep God's laws, statutes and commandments. There was a time we could not keep those laws, man. If you go to 2 Maccabees 6:1, let's get it real quick. Maccabees 6, 2 Maccabees 6:1.
Not long after this, the king sent an old man of Athens to compel the Jews to depart from the laws of their fathers and not to live after the laws of God.
Man, we was compelled not to follow God's laws. We were getting slaughtered and killed for keeping God's laws, statutes and commandments. They was trying to wipe us out of existence. There's also a passage in here inside the Babylon Timbuktu that explains that a little bit further too. Let me see if I can find it. According to the Catholic authorities, 90,000 embraced Christianity at the time. This was forced baptism. In the 17th century, the Jews were threatened with the penalty of slavery if they were found practicing Judaism. It was a cruel punishment, and many Jews had to flee to the Mediterranean and western coast of Africa. Again, we moved to Africa again. We was fleeing because we want to keep our laws, statutes, and commandments, and they wouldn't allow us to do it. That's how important our ancestors knew that these laws, statutes, and commandments were real. A lot of our people right now, they go vote. Why they go vote? Because they say their ancestors died for this. No, your ancestors didn't die for that. Your ancestors was murdered for something they didn't understand. But these laws, statutes, and commandments, the Lord said to follow them, to hearken to them, I'll give you all the blessings and the fruit. And we had our ancestors who died trying to keep them and fled to Africa so they can continue to keep their laws, statutes, and commandments. They don't eat shrimp, pork, and lobster. They want to celebrate their birthdays. They want to celebrate Christmas. They want to keep the Sabbath service and keep it holy unto the Most High God. And it was persecuted for that. So they had to flee. So again, you got any questions, statements, comments, whatever the case may be? We'll wrap it up.
Was you referring to the 1747 map?
Yes, that's the 1747 map. Do you got it up here? Yeah, do you have it Wikipedia or you have any anything you read on that?
Black history in the Bible?
Black history in the Bible, yeah, the 1747 map. If you guys go Google the 1747 map, you'll see the map where it says Judah on it. So everybody knew where to go to get those slaves. They were looking for particular people, the Negroes. They were looking for anybody else. They knew that these were God's chosen people, and those were the people that they wanted to use to keep them in captivity, and they did just that. So know your history. To know where you're going, you got to know where you're from. We always heard that. I just gave you a little bit of information about your history, about who the Israelites are. You are, if you're black, Hispanic, Native Indian, you are the true Jews that the Bible speaks of. This is your book. Don't fall into the whole category that God loves everybody and His book is for everyone else. Don't give your heritage away. This is your book. Take it, embrace it, and read about it. Don't make it ooky spooky. Don't make it a religion out of it. This is your law, statutes, and commandments that you must follow if you want to get the blessings of the Lord. We went over that in these scriptures. All through history, we've been in captivity because we didn't do it. This is the last captivity. After this captivity, there will be no more captivity. This is it. So if you're watching YouTube or Facebook, subscribe, like the channel, share it, but also come to the classes near you. Go to ISUPK.com. You can see a school near you. Get into these classes, understand these precepts, understand who you are, and what's required of you to go to the kingdom. All right. That being said, any questions? The water for reading, brother. Appreciate you. If there's no more questions or anything like that, we're going to turn the class over. All right, Mosai Christ. We're going to turn the class over. Police officer 50, the Bashkaya.
There's an ISUPK security announcement. Where the ISUPK started on 1 on 25th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for a new brother and sister. When a new brother and sister come to the school, they are limited for 6 months. They are here to be saluted only. They are here to set themselves over the world. If they need transportation, teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will record each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21, and the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 8 through 10. My Isra, that means 10 in the Hebrew. 10% of every penny of increase the Lord gives you goes to the treasury department of teacher. Priest fund, free will offer, priest not mandatory. What's the amount you like to give? The next Holy Convocation is going to be the memorial, the blowing of trumpets. It's going to be the first day of the 7th month. It'll be September 25th, Sunday, sundown. You also can find it in the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, 24, and 25. I'll give while walking to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If any brother wants to be a trooper to school, start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pant, headband, or scarf. And make sure you Google his address every time you head to school to help build algorithms. Alright, give you a word curse to teacher class. Mid-Israel, Michael. Mid-Israel, Amida Sabat, Amida, Rock.
Y'all about to shake with thumb.
Well, I just said two lost one Kadasha. May the Most High, the name of Christ bless you. Yahanna taught me hands down, sister stand. Sorry. Get one curse salute to sister in class. Mid-Israel, Amida Sabat, Amida, Rock.
Yahweh Shemar Alathar B'Hashem Yahushua.
Well, I said to the sister in the Lost One Kadash, may the Most High watch over you in the name of Christ. Yahanna taught me hands down, class dismissed.